if you look at the definitions, there's a clear reference that, you know, heritage is whether it's tangible, intangible, movable, immovable, it's objects, it's landscapes, it's you know, nature, it's on land, under the sea. It's almost all those elements that you have passed on from generation to generation, and that are defined actually under the UNESCO Cultural Conventions. And I think that's probably, if we look at UNESCO to a large extent, you know, what's heritage? It's probably those that are mentioned in those conventions, but in general, it's all that we value and that we, you know, cherish from our past, that we live with today, and that we want to have preserved for the future. I think it's important to mention that I work for the National Commission, which is different than, you know, I do not represent the member states, although I do kind of bring out the message of UNESCO. And so I think that I have to mention, just for clear verification. If we look at the definitions that are in the conventions, these are treaties made by member states, many member states together, trying to draft a document in which they kind of can put everything that they want on a certain theme. So you have one for heritage or cultural property in times of armed conflict, one for world heritage, one for intangible heritage, underwater heritage. And in order to have a legal binding document, you need to create frameworks. And that's also why these definitions come in and also create, to a certain extent, a framework, which, you know, what falls underneath, under such a convention, what doesn't, what are the legal implications, and how can you preserve them. So they differ per convention. And I think the World Heritage Convention is by far the most known, and it's very clear. It defines heritage, especially world heritage, as the cultural and natural heritage of what we call outstanding universal value. So it needs to be irreplaceable and, in a sense, also unique and of importance to humankind in its broadest sense.